You're not lazy. You're not unmotivated. You're not incapable. You want to know what it is? It's fear. And up until now, you haven't realized it. Fear will cause you to stay stuck in the same cycles. It sabotages your growth and what you're trying to do. And it also keeps you stuck and from moving into the life you are created to live. And so fear has been hiding, but today we're going to expose it. And I'm going to tell you how, and we're going to get you to move forward. So grab your notebook and grab a pen and let's talk about it. Jim, welcome back. I am Latoya Mathews, your freedom ambassador. And today I want to talk about the 3 hidden fears that is keeping you stuck. Because I need you to understand that fear is an enemy to freedom. And we don't even realize it that these hidden fears are holding us back from the life that God has designed for us. And so we have to get real with ourselves. And maybe you haven't realized it up until today, since I'm talking about it. But I hope today this video helps you, because fear can mask itself as laziness. Fear can mask itself as lack of motivation. It can show up even as a lack of clarity. And so fear is a mask that makes us think that we are these things. But today I want to talk about why you're dimming your light, why you're holding back to protect yourself, and why you're clinging to comfort. So the 3 hidden fears that you didn't realize that were keeping you stuck was fear number 1, fear of being seen. Fear of being seen. The truth is, you want to connect with other people, but you hide behind protection. And it masks you and it tells you that I'm just private, that I'm low key. Granted, these are some of the things that people may be, but for you, you're saying I'm private, I'm low key, but the truth is you're just afraid of exposure. You're afraid of what if people really see me? What if they see my flaws? So what? We all have flaws, and being exposed means being vulnerable. Oh, man, listen, that fear of being seen really keeps us from elevating. It keeps us out of positions. It keeps us from applying for the speaking engagement. It keeps us from applying for the collaboration. Because what if they really see me for who I am? And so, yes, we're all flawed, but that doesn't discount who you are. That doesn't discount the value that you bring. And you don't need to dim your light to avoid attention, because that's all that is. Fear will tell you that you have to dim your light. Fear will tell you that don't go too far out there. Don't really expose yourself in this light. So you begin to shrink. You begin to play small. But here's the problem. The very thing you're hiding from is the very thing that God wants to use. The very story that you're not willing to tell, the very flaw that you refuse to show is the thing that God wants to use. And so you are hiding behind perfection. I want to wait till everything is perfect before I put myself out there. You hide behind that perfection. But guess what? You being authentic is the access point to freedom. It's your authenticity. It's you being authentic. That is the thing that is going to bring you the freedom. So what you're going to have to do is stop masking and start showing up fully in who God created you to be, flaws and all. And when you do that, you give others permission to do the same. And that's one of the things that I always say. When we show up as ourselves, we give permission for other people to do the same thing. So this is another thing. What you don't heal, what you don't reveal, you can't heal, right? And so you can't heal what you won't reveal. And we have to be willing to reveal parts of ourselves. And I'm not saying that you have to give everything, but give the thing that God is wanting you to show and to share. You stop being afraid of being seen. This is the only thing that's going to open the door for you to really get to your next level and really get to the promises of what God has, put aside for you. So that's fear number one, fear of being seen. Number two is the fear of rejection. You're afraid of putting yourself out there because what if they do me the same way that other people have done me? What if they reject me? What if I put myself out there and they don't like who I am? Fear of rejection, sometimes it is God's protection. But for the most part, we won't allow ourselves to show up because what if? And we hide behind those what ifs. And if we can really be honest, we fear rejection because rejection feels like the confirmation of what we really believe about ourselves. I don't really believe that I'm enough. I don't really believe that I am as valuable as they say. I don't really believe these things about myself. And that rejection is confirmation of that. And when people reject you, see, I told you. And that is a lie, from the enemy. And so we begin to pull back when we should be leaning in. Don't let rejection cause you to pull back, but let it cause you to lean in, and you begin to show up and you begin to be silent when you should be really speaking. Rejection will cause you to be silent when God is saying, I need you to open up your mouth. I need you to begin to speak. I need you to begin to say what I am telling you, regardless if they accept what you say or not. You are being obedient to God. And rejection causes us to be disobedient because we don't want to deal with that hurt. We don't want to deal with that pain that comes with rejection, but rejection will cause you to be disobedient to the things of what God is asking you to do. So you begin to tell yourself that you don't want the opportunity, that you don't want the relationship, that you don't want the dream, when in reality, you're just afraid of being turned away. You will tell yourself, somebody will tell you to apply for a position, and then you're like, nah, I don't want it. I don't want it anyway. And that's the fear of rejection telling you that you don't want this, when in reality it is what you want, but I don't want the no. I don't want the hurt, or I don't want the rejection that comes with that. And when they tell you no, it feels like rejection, when in actuality it could be redirection, right? Rejection is redirection, not disqualification. Just because they tell you no doesn't mean that you're not qualified. You're not disqualified. God is just redirecting you to go in a different direction. And so, listen, that rejection does a whole lot to our confidence. That rejection does a whole lot to our courage. It does a whole lot to us when it causes us to run when we really should be moving forward. So and the thing is that God's plan for you will never require you to beg for belonging. Let me say that one more time. Let me read that one more time. God's plan for you will never require you to beg for belonging. You don't have to beg to belong. If they accept you, they do. And if they don't, so be it. Oh well, they missed out on that. They missed out on the presence and the gift of who you are. They didn't reject you. They rejected God, the masterpiece of who God created you to be. That's what I need you to understand. They're not rejecting you. They're rejecting God, because at the core of who you are, God created you fearfully and wonderfully made. So that's number two, fear of rejection. And the last one, fear of the unknown. It's unknown. You feel stuck not because you're incapable, but because you're afraid of stepping into the unfamiliar. You're used to being in this place of comfort, and you're not used to being outside of your comfort zone. But if you really want to see the things that God has for you, you're going to have to step out of the unfamiliar. Abraham had to step into the unfamiliar. Rahab did, the unfamiliar. There is no reward in staying in the unfamiliar. It's gonna cost you to stay in that unfamiliar. The unknown is uncertain, but staying in the same place is also uncertain. Staying the same is also. And we sometimes, we ask ourselves, what if it doesn't go the way that I think it's gonna go? What if it doesn't work? What if I fail? But you never ask yourself, what if I fly? What if it does succeed? What if this thing actually does work out? But you'll never know because you're afraid of stepping into the unknown. Your comfort zone might feel safe, but it's suffocating you. The safety net is suffocating you. And so freedom requires trust. Do you trust God? Do you trust yourself? Fear of the unknown is also sometimes tied to not trusting ourselves. I don't trust myself enough to do this, so I'm not going to trust myself to step into the unknown, to step into the unfamiliar. Because there's a risk in stepping into the unknown. The risk of it not working out, but also the risk of if it does. And we can't be afraid to step into unfamiliar territory. And we don't need to know the outcome. We're afraid of the unknown because we don't know what the outcome is going to be. And I want to encourage you that you don't have to know the whole path. You don't have to know the outcome. And for many of us, this is really the primary reason that we don't like to step into the unknown, because we don't know what the outcome is going to be. I need to know the next steps. I need to know what comes behind this yes. I need to know what comes behind taking this step. I need to know. But what if needing to know is blocking you from receiving? What if needing to know is keeping you from the promises, keeping you from the very things that you prayed for? What if needing to know has been a wall that is keeping you in when you're screaming to be out and about and doing the things that God has asked of you? So the unknown is uncertain, but so is staying the same. So Jim, let me tell you, you've been giving your fears too much power. And it's time for you to remind them who you are. It's time for you to face them head on. It's time for you to be real with yourself. I need you to know that you were made to walk in freedom. So I need you to take a deep breath and take the next step, because you got this. Don't let fear continue to rob you of your freedom. So I need you to let me know which one of these fears resonated with you or that you've recognized in your life. Let me know. Let's talk about it. And if this message was a blessing to you, I need you to share it with someone who needs to hear it. I need you to like. I need you to subscribe. I need you to join me every Wednesday as I drop these videos. But most importantly, I need you to tell fear who you are and whose you are. So until next time, be free, live free, and stay free. God bless.